Vicki and Vinnie Live, brought to you by Misunderstood Whiskey. Misunderstood is the theme of today's podcast, which is interesting. And Misunderstood Whiskey is what you need, ironically, to understand what I'm about to talk about. So get yourself some Misunderstood Whiskey and enjoy your night. Also, my good friends, I love these guys. Rokeby sunglasses, they're amazing. You got to try them. And they don't give me anything, not even a sticker. I'm just telling you about them because they're great sunglasses. And so you should do that as well. And Victoria's Trata Italiano, where you can enjoy yourself a beautiful glass of Misunderstood Whiskey. Sit in our open windows on a nice day. Let the sun hit your face. Throw on your Rokeby sunglasses. Vicki and Vinnie Live coming to you today from beautiful Amsterdam. No, we're not Amsterdam. Vicki and Vinnie Live coming to you today. Huh? Oh, yeah. Okay, there you go. Vicki and Vinnie Live coming to you today from the big house. And don't worry, Rutgers fans, we're going to talk about that as well. I absolutely love what you did to Ohio State. Who doesn't? Vicki and Vinnie Live coming at you now. Good morning. Here we are.
Good morning.
I'm very excited today. You got a great day going so far. You got up at 5:30 and worked out already.
I did. I went to the gym with Kate.
That's amazing.
Yes.
I went to the gym at that hour.
Oh, it's packed.
Is it really?
It's
I
packed.
hate people like that.
Those classes sell out fast. They are the worst ones because those are the ones that go the fastest. I've never dipped my toe in the 5 a.m. one, and I never will. But that sells out. The 6 a.m. sells out. So you can sign up 2 days in advance for those classes, and they go like hotcakes.
There's only one reason to get up at 5 a.m. You're invading a country. That's it.
Yeah.
You invade a country.
Yeah.
Get up early.
I mean, a number of people all work out before they go to work. I just wouldn't be able to do that.
I used to do it many years ago. I'd work out early in the morning. I actually now enjoy a late night workout because I feel like I earned my workout. Now, today I wanted to get up and work out, but I started reading 4 Hour Body.
Mm-hmm.
So get ready because now when I read that book, I'm going to know everything and tell everybody that that's the book.
So we're all going to have to hear about it.
Oh, every one of you. That's the problem with me reading, by the way. When I read something, if I like it, I'm convinced that is what everyone should be doing.
Well, you also said to me just last week, that we should be reading the same books at the same time so we can discuss them. We should. Like we're not already together all the time. We work together. We live together. Now we have to read the same damn books.
Listen to me.
Codependent?
What I read is everyone should read.
I know, but you wanted to have like our own little mini book club.
No, not that. I'm reading very valuable things. I'm not reading any of the books you read. You read such
that's
trash.
The other thing is you think that, okay, so the 2 books that I'm reading right now, one is fiction. It's what you would call chick flick.
What's it called?
The People You Meet on Vacation.
All right. Already garbage.
I enjoy it. But the other one that he's calling trash is putting your employees first.
Do you think I want these 2 jackasses?
Yes. It's all a book about putting your employees before your customers.
Look at them.
And
put yourself on camera. Put yourself on camera and ask me why they should come before our customers.
No, because, the concept is, so I'm reading this book. The author's name is Rosenblum. It's a 2nd edition. And I found out about it from Cameron Mitchell's book, who Cameron Mitchell is the owner of the very acclaimed Ocean Prime restaurants. And it's a whole concept about if you invest in your employees and invest in your employees' happiness.
Shh.
Yeah.
They're right here.
Yeah. They will then in turn care about your customers. But if you don't invest in their happiness, they're worried about what's happening in their lives all the time. And then therefore, they can't invest in their customers. But the whole concept is, so this guy, Rosenblum, went to his family business as a 22-year-old. It was already a very successful business. He then took it to a $6 billion company doing this concept.
Peter, are you happy this morning?
Now I am.
Yeah.
I want to read that book, actually.
It really is a very interesting concept because one of the things that I always say to them when I go in is what a joy to be around them. because they're always so happy and I enjoy going and seeing them all.
You,
And
you don't see them that often. If you saw them more often, you'll be as irritated as I am. I spend more time with them. They're not people that make you happy. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
So,
I think I know you've boiled down a couple of the concepts of the book.
yeah.
And essentially, if your employees aren't happy, your customers can't be.
Right. So basically what it is if the leaders at the top of the company focus on creating an environment that everyone in the company is happy. Because if you're happy, you have less turnover. You have less what we call like bad seeds coming in and creating havoc.
Right.
And then you give people different opportunities to grow and to be happy. And then therefore, if you're happy, you're going to be good to your customers.
I think that if you take that and you morph it with my philosophy, you walk into the business, you pick one person and indiscriminately, for no causation whatsoever, fire that employee.
I like it.
And you tell everybody else, is your attitude adjusted? And then you go on from there.
Right. Well, maybe you should try that with Mallory. It's her birthday on the 9th.
Oh.
So, you know.
Oh, we're firing Mallory.
Right on her birthday.
On her birthday. Happy birthday. You're free.
Yeah.
All right, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm going to read the book. I will read that book with you if you read the 4-minute, whatever the name of the book is I'm reading.
I'll read that. I'll definitely try that.
Let me
but
find
I
the
also
title.
think that you should read that book that I'm reading just because it's better for our company.
I'm saying I'm not reading the people you meet on vacation.
No, I'm not
Holy
asking
shit.
you to.
I've got to be clear.
I'm not asking you
Vicky
to.
read and reread and read again. All of that. I don't even know what the book's about. What's that book?
What?
That book. Shit. They made a movie out of it.
A lot of the books I've read have become movies.
But the one you read over and again, what's it called? Vicky read them over and again.
What book?
Huh?
What book?
That book with the curious monkey.
Curious George? Curious George?
And I was trying to make a joke about it. You didn't read it. What's the book they made? The 50 Shades. You read?
Oh, I did not read 50 Shades. But that woman that wrote 50 Shades.
A woman wrote that?
Oh, yeah. E.L. James.
Dirty whore
I
girl.
watched a bunch of her interviews because it was phenomenal.
What
so
was phenomenal?
Her interviews, she essentially was a non-known writer at all.
You still don't know her name.
Her name is
referred to her as that woman.
No, I said her name is E.L. James.
Oh, that's a woman?
Yeah. So a lot of women writers won't use their actual name.
Right.
So because it deters
J.K. Rowling's.
Right, because it deters men audience
Right.
to read it. So her name is E.L. James and she wrote the book, and if you see her, she's older. And she's a little heavy.
Frustrated old biddy.
Yeah, but I mean, where she went with
better
it.
handcuffs. J.K. Rowling's British too, right?
She's Scottish, I believe.
Same shit. I mean, you're splitting hairs.
I could be wrong. I know she lives in Scotland now. What is J.K. Rowling?
Yeah, she's British too.
See, now what's interesting is I can't read Harry Potter.
Why?
Okay, I want to eventually read Harry Potter. I think that for me, I would have to start slipping into senility to find myself reading about witches and whatnot. Now, I know that's silly because I read Lord of the Rings and all those, and it's essentially the same concept, the submersive, and I read the Hunger Games, which I thought was a lot of fun. So I have to break down and read J.K. Rowling. I think the problem is the book is so big and thick.
All the books are so big.
Listen,
Yeah.
no one can argue with her. So
Yeah.
let's get into our week, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
we'll do our book club of the week at the end.
Yeah.
So we went to Michigan.
We went to Michigan to visit our Taba girl. So Maddie went and Cassie went and Maddie's boyfriend Alec went. And
Her husband went.
Well, of course you went, dum-dum. And we really just had a great time.
I tell you, I love Rutgers.
Yeah.
Love it. Great campus, great university, great football program, great everything. Rutgers is coming.
But
When you go to Ann Arbor, all right, it's already there, right? In other words, 110,000 people packing the big house.
yeah.
And just smashing the snot out of a trash-talking Purdue coach.
Yeah.
Now it's starting to look like a lot of Big Ten teams and teams everywhere have been scouting and videotaping.
Of course they have. It's the stupidest rule I've ever heard.
It's a dumb rule.
And you can go and watch the games.
Yes.
So, I mean, really, it's so stupid.
It's so dumb. And here's the thing. Michigan, now the Purdue coach trash talked ahead of time.
I know.
He said we changed some schedules. And they only scored a touchdown with 18 seconds left. And, it just didn't matter.
No.
41-13. And 6 of the 13, 2 field goals, came off of freak plays. Harbaugh went 4th and 1, ran the middle of the line, which I wouldn't have done.
Because you're out there coaching.
I would have went wide. I would have
Mm-hmm.
I would have dropped the quarterback back for a pass and sent him outside for a scramble.
That's one of those incidences what Harbaugh needs. What would Vinnie do?
Yeah, absolutely.
So he could Google it himself.
If I were on the sideline, I would have said, listen.
Yeah.
Put him in the shotgun. Fake pass.
Right.
Fake to the right. Okay, I would have fake right and run him left. And he only needed a yard, for God's sake. Right. And that kid is fast. JJ's fast. Give it to JJ's feet.
Yeah.
Okay, but also, so the coach for Purdue trash talked. And the other, so that was one of the 3 points. And the other one was a punt that just happened to hit a Michigan guy from behind. A very freak play. So Michigan defense is awesome. The offense, and the offense, quote unquote, struggled. The running game wasn't there. And still, they hung 41 points. And that coach, I don't know if you saw it, get the video. The coach blew by Harbaugh post-game. Wouldn't thank him. Okay? And what people are saying is that this guy's about to lose his job. His team is not that good.
Right.
And so he's hanging all this on Harbaugh, the sign stealing. The scandal is 3 weeks old. You had plenty of time to change your signs. And still they hung 41 points on.
Right. Well, in the Michigan Wolverines Facebook page, they were all saying that we wouldn't need to steal Purdue's signs because it was essentially the equivalent of a high school team.
Listen, the Purdue athletes I don't want to slam because they're all great athletes.
I would never. Yeah.
Right.
I'm just letting you know what the people
It sounds
say.
like you did.
No, I'm just letting you know. I didn't even say to watch the game.
Sounds like you read the Facebook page.
No, I did. I read it. So Tabby and Cassie and I left.
Yeah, but you made it.
To the second quarter.
How far in the second quarter?
Pretty far because I was in Emden. Emden. That's the big store there that sells all the Michigan wear. Buying you 2 sweatshirts.
One of which I'm wearing.
Yeah. And when halftime came around, because then we power walked it out. There was a lot of people leaving at halftime.
I stayed to the end of the game.
But the only reason why I left, because it was a beautiful night. It was gorgeous. Gorgeous. But like you said, there was 110,000 people there. And this is the only criticism I have for Michigan football. Well, I don't like it. So you don't have an actual seat when you go.
You have a bench with a number.
You have a bench with a dot. And because everybody's body type is different, the whole game, I had to stand like this. The whole game. And then even like sitting down, I had to sit sideways. And it just, and I don't blame the family next to me because they also were sitting like that. It's just you're packed into these benches. And if everybody sat on their dot, it would be fine. But not everybody sits on their dot.
I understand that the third chapter of 50 Shades Darker is sit on your dot. And
But I was too uncomfortable. I was so uncomfortable. And I can't stand sitting like that.
Okay, so, and first of all, I like how you slipped in a little body shaming on the country.
No, I didn't. No, they don't take in consideration with these dots that everybody is a different.
What do you think, there should be a fat section?
No, Vinny, I'm not saying that. I think that if you're even like a really big guy.
Fat.
No, big guy. That you can't just sit on your dot.
You can't.
No, you can't. And then you throw in all the drunk people. They're not adhering to their dots. And
did you see?
Yeah.
Now, flying home yesterday, we get on. And by the way, we flew
Spirit.
Spirit Airlines.
Because it was cheap.
And I know why fights break out at Spirit Airlines.
Right.
On the flights, in the queue for the line. I figured it out. And it's not the frustration. It's not the tray table that is slightly larger than an a iPhone 15 Pro X.
Right.
It's none of that. It's not the chair that doesn't recline. It's getting on that plane. The knowledge that you're flying Spirit because you failed at life. That's what's happening.
No,
and people just lose their shit. They start punching people because they're like, nothing worked out. They start punching.
No, I mean, for a flight that flight yesterday was an hour and 10 minutes.
Yes.
Like, why would you pay premium money?
What were the flights? What the flights cost?
I don't remember now because I did it so far in advance. But I remember thinking, it was ridiculously cheap.
But you do know that it's not cheap. You checked 2 bags, and it was $100 a bag.
$90.
Okay, Vic, let's round up. It's $100.
Yes, but if you extrapolate that $180 over 6 people, it's not much money at all.
But don't you also pay for every carry-on?
Yes, but even you don't understand. And I picked out the seats.
Okay, and you picked up.
But,
I guarantee it wasn't cheaper.
No. It was. I swear to God on my life.
How much cheaper?
It was ridiculously cheaper because what happened when they announced when Parents Weekend is, all the prices jacked up on the flights.
Okay,
and it wasn't until I changed our flight out because then Delta came way down right before we were leaving. But it was a significant savings.
Okay, let me just say this. I get on a Spirit Airlines flight, and my thought really is, I hope no one recognizes me. I get recognized a lot on flights. I don't want people to see me on Spirit Airlines and go, his career didn't work out. And that's what they're saying. Listen.
But even when we were flying out, I'm sorry, we didn't fly out of Delta. We flew out of United. Did you realize when we were first getting on the United flight, how you go past first class.
Yeah.
Then you go past the extra leg room. And then suddenly,
yes,
the aisle literally is like this big. And I wouldn't even think about reclining my seat on the United flight because I'm like, there's no room in between me and the seat. So I'm not going to be a jerk and recline my seat to the person behind me because there's no room.
I recline on the tarmac.
Of course you do.
I recline immediately. I recline.
Yeah, well, none of us were sitting together. Me and Cassie sat together, and then everybody else was all over the place.
Well, on the flight home in Spirit, Alec sat next to a guy who does not fit on his dot. Now, I don't know if you know what happened.
No.
Okay, this guy, first of all, the plane is packed.
Yeah.
And on the way home, on the way home, did I have extra? I had an extra seat. No, I sat with you.
You sat with
me. Right. So we were in one row. Yeah. And I know that my 11-year-old is going to hog all 3 seats. It's awful. She's all over you. All right. But at least it's my family. And so Alec and Maddie are to the left. And Alec had an ear-to-ear grin because he had an empty seat. And it was getting later and later. And then all of a sudden the guy, no shit, he looked just like Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Yeah.
With the coveralls, with the beard. He looked just like Hacksaw Jim. And he's walking down the aisle. And in my mind, I said, if he has to sit next to Alec, I'm going to wet my pants. And Maddie was originally in the middle seat. And he's coming down. And I'm like, there's no seats open. And sure as shit, he sat next to Alec. And Alec had to sit sideways for the flight, which I think is bullshit.
I do too.
Now, let me tell you what happened. So we get back to the airport.
I honestly, no joke. You should have to, with the carry-on bags.
Yes.
The sizing. Because then you should have to then
buy 2 seats.
Well, if you're that guy is a big guy, and those seats are so narrow and small. Yeah.
Yes. That guy looked like a swine farmer. Mm-hmm. He looked like a hog farmer. That's what he looked like. And so, of course he's eating. And but here's the thing: we get off the flight, and we're in the airport, and and everyone's using the restroom. And I said to Alec, "Hey, Alec, I was wetting my pants. That big guy next to you was spilling over into your seat." And Alec goes, I know. Alec is so easy going. And I said, That stuff infuriates me. People like that just have to buy 2 seats. Vicki, I swear to God, I haven't even told Alec yet. Because I know, I just dealt with it. It wasn't that long a flight. And I look, Alex sitting on the ground. I look up. The guy is listening to the whole conversation. He's right there. He's right there. And I'm like, oh my God. But, then he walked in front of me the whole way to get the luggage claim. To me, Michigan Stadium was built 100 years ago.
Right.
And I don't mind that as much because you can somehow finagle some space. All right. You don't do battle. I go into battle right away. You got to go into battle. Otherwise, people just spill over onto you. On the flight going to Michigan, there was a guy next to me. He had his elbow full over on the armrest, a full 2 inches into my seat.
Oh, boy.
Okay. Oh, boy is right. And the middle seat wasn't occupied. But I sat down, and the very first thing I did is establish that minimum 50-50. So what I did is I grabbed 2 inches of his space. Okay, I completely Putined him. I reached over and I grabbed a couple inches of space, and then I just relaxed back to 50-50. And he adjusted, and he knew that he could not infringe any further. All right. Now, what would Biden have done? The border doesn't matter. It matters. It matters. All right. So anyway, other than that, we had a great time. This week, Michigan goes to Happy Valley.
Oh, yeah.
And I predict that Michigan will hang points on their defense. It's a very good defense. But they will not be able to score easily on the Michigan defense. That's my prediction. Anyway.
So let's get into the story that Peter said about the 104-year-old skydiver, Dorothy Hoffner.
Yeah.
First of all, I had read about this when she did her dive. And it really is so amazing to me that 104 years old, going for that. And she died. When did she die?
So she died 10 days after the skydive. So I think it was on October 12th.
The Swede lady is a current record holder at 103.
Yeah, and here's the thing. There's a lot of easy jokes to make. You're playing with house money, yada, yada, yada. But this is really the goal, right? 104 skydiving. But really, honestly, I think this woman, when she died, her last thought probably was, what a jip. Because that's someone fully engaged.
Yeah.
Living life, right? And if you have a video of her, did they video her jumping?
Well, that's a skydiver and a centenarian. Dorothy Hoffner, 104 years old. She jumped out of a plane this afternoon in Ottawa, landing to a cheering crowd and proving it is never too late to skydive. Dorothy's hoping to be named the oldest person in the world to skydive.
It was wonderful. It was a nice, peaceful, and I had to keep myself awake so I could see the scenery.
And she looks great, she sounds great, and she's a skydiver. Skydive Chicago says it's working to have Guinness World Record certify this jump. Dorothy also went skydiving at 100. She is now a skydiving veteran.
Oh, wow.
Because here's the thing. I jumped out of a plane.
Yes, you did. I did it for your 40th birthday.
40 years old. And
I also threw you a party.
You threw me a party. You did. Are you okay?
Yeah. It's my asthma. It's fine.
Okay. So the thing about jumping out of a plane, it's no joke. I mean, at 104 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, just listen, there's nothing you can do. At 104 years old, your bone density, your muscle mass, everything starts to deteriorate.
Yeah.
And having the chutzpah to strap to a strapping 24-year-old guy or girl.
Yeah.
And jump out of a plane. It's pretty amazing.
It is very amazing.
George Bush Sr. did it.
Yeah.
But he had jumped a bunch of times. Nothing but big respect. And the guy at 103 years old is amazing. Here's a video of me jumping out of a plane at 40 years old. Did I do it on my birthday? Was it my actual birthday? I don't think so.
No, it wasn't your actual birthday.
I remember thinking when you gave it to me, she either loves me or wants to kill me. But I would jump again because I didn't find it scary to jump out of the plane because you're so high in the air that it seems like it can't hurt you. The earth is so far away.
Right.
I think I jumped from right around 13,000 feet. And when you jump out, you free fall for a while. And you'll see in my video, the guy tells me, pull the thing, because you pull your own ripcord.
Right.
The only time it scared me, the only time, was when I pulled the ripcord, because when I pull the ripcord, it jerks you back up into the sky.
Okay.
And that, for a second, you went, oh my God, I was falling.
Right.
And then you float. And I nailed my landing. My landing's great. Take a look
Right.
at that. So I have a lot of respect for that. Would you skydive?
No,
Never.
never.
Why?
I don't like the feeling of free falling. When we do Pirates of the Caribbean at Disney, and there's that little drop, I close my eyes, and we've gone on that ride at least 30 times. And I'm always like, here it comes. And then once it's done, I'm good.
So your article would be, at 103 years old, 104 years old, Vicki opened her eyes on Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, pretty much. When we went to a water park years ago with the Chef's Factory staff, when Maddie and Tabby were little, there was...
Back when we put the staff first.
I've taken them to a water park.
I know.
So there was these little tubes, and all the kids were doing them. Like it's dark, and you shoot out of this little tube.
Yeah.
And I said to the little kids, "Is it scary?" And they're like, "What? No." And I tried it one time, and I was petrified. I didn't like it. You can't see. You don't know what's happening.
Let's get on here because we have a lot to do. Can we talk?
You have to leave in 2 minutes.
I'm going to be a little late. You know what really bothered me, really got under me, is these oil activists, all right, who are doing nothing to move the needle. Oil will never be canceled this way. Now, before you get your burners going, I see what I did there.
Yeah. I like it.
Before you get all fired up, see what I did. If oil change, if we run out of oil, oil's going to go away.
Yeah.
I'm sure I see smoke billowing in the air, and I know it can't be good. All right. But when you go into an art museum and do what these two animals did, these two zeros, absolute zeros, and I will guarantee you a couple things. They didn't ride their bike to the protest.
Right.
And they have iPhones that are made by little tiny Chinese fingers in China. They are so full of hypocrisy. And you beat up a piece of art. Okay. Now, it was an oil painting. Maybe that's what they were after. I don't know. But what do you think can you show the video? This is the video. Okay. Look at them. All right. Now, I have to tell you something. All right. Look at these two human beings. All right. They're zeros. They don't have scientific knowledge. The guy's letting the girl do all the talking. He's emasculated. He finally speaks up. But it's the script she gave him. All right. And this whole thing irritates the living snot out of me. What do you think the penalty should be?
I think it should be pretty big because, I mean, that is a piece of artwork, obviously, that's been there a long time. And on top of it, I just want to say to these two people, with everything that's happening,
right,
you know, in the Ukraine, in Israel, in Gaza, like, really? You
know what the punishment should be? I've thought about this all day, all night.
Look at them as they hold hands.
Here's what the punishment
Ridiculous.
should be. They should be incarcerated in a jail cell with zero electricity, no heat, nothing that oil produces. They should be forced to eat raw food.
Right.
They should be forced to live in the environment they claim to want.
Right.
That's what the punishment should be. And they should go away for a long time. You have to make examples out of people like this.
Yeah.
They should be publicly flogged. They should be put in prison for a very long time. This is the breakdown of society. You're watching it, okay? I don't like something, so I'm going to go to a museum and smash up some art. Their protest, are they out trying to find an alternative fuel? No, they're not, okay? Are they out trying to find a better way to live? Are they in a lab somewhere perfecting cold fusion? No, they went to Ace Hardware, bought 2 ball-peen hammers, and did nothing. And she needs to hit the gym. All right, now anyway, I'm sorry.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me if they looked up what the criminal offenses would be before they did it. I just think that if you look through years of campaigns of people that actually move the needle for change, it was always done in a non-violent manner.
Mahatma Gandhi.
Well, yeah, like it just, if you want the seed to change, if you want things to change.
Martin Luther King.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. To do it in a way like this, to me, this says spoiled people.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiled people who are going to ruin a $90 million painting. And I don't know. You just, what I always tell the children, which obviously they never got this lesson as children, is that you can be right about something.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go about it the wrong way, you're immediately wrong.
Yeah.
And they never got that lesson as children.
And
They never got it.
And when we get to society and the breakdown of society, and what I keep saying over and over again is, you have to be willing to make examples of people and administer justice. Now,
Right.
30 years might be too harsh, right?
It is harsh.
But, okay, but this should be 5 years in prison,
Yeah.
followed by a lifetime of what do they call it? Restitution.
Right.
They should a lifetime of restitution. But 5 years, you got to really ding these people. These people going in malls and wilding and breaking up stores, and these people gluing their hands to the floor and stopping traffic, and some ladies losing a baby because she can't get to the hospital.
Yeah.
There's no punishment big enough. The punishment, and we're just sliding. We're sliding. We need me to take control.
What would Vinny do?
Maybe it's a 30-year sentence, 25 years suspended, 5 years minimum, followed by restitution and hanging over your head. Hanging over your head is the notion that if you protest again, all right, you go back to prison for the 30 years. You shouldn't be allowed to say my French fries are cold. This should be a significant.
Well, I'm sorry, but I also think that they go to prison for 5 years. They're going to get the shit kicked out of them.
Which would be great.
Yeah, like really, they're not going to fare well in prison.
That painting is rumored to be $90 million.
Yeah.
We're going to go now to our FAFO video.
Yeah.
Look at this kid, just taking a little snooze time. And she's trying to be helpful, but
Well,
she's videoing.
trying to be funny,
She's videoing.
which
That's
is
the
even
whole thing.
funnier.
She wanted it on video,
Yeah.
and she got it. I like that one. That
Yeah.
one makes me happy. Now, I think this one, this is now, again, this is an appropriate punishment for what somebody does. All right. Now, what happens here is.
What? Why'd she do that?
Yeah, what is the story behind this? But she attacks the guy physically for, it looked like he gave the kid change.
Yeah,
All right.
it looks like he gave the kid change, and then she becomes a monster.
Yeah, out goes the purse, out goes the woman, right on her ass. Okay, listen, you don't get to attack people. This has to
No.
happen more. You can't just attack bus drivers. I think bus drivers should be armed with an airbag right there that they can deploy. It just pops the people
Well,
out
I
the door.
feel like bus drivers honestly should have some kind of protective
Yeah.
cage around them.
It's coming. It's
Yeah.
coming. And the reason it's coming is because we allow the animals to roam
Yeah.
the world.
They
We
do.
have to take control. All right, so listen, thank you very much for watching Vicki and Vinnie Live. Don't forget to visit Victoria's Strada Italiana. From the Big House, this is Vinny.
And Vicky.
I love you guys.
All right, bye.